Bitcoin has broken through its all-time high. Some people say that it might reach 100,000 by end of the year, while others think it is a bubble. Hi, I'm Frankie. Welcome back to my fuck show, Frankie Answers Questions. Today, we will talk about Bitcoin and what makes it so valuable and why you should invest in it. Question 1. Bitcoin recently reached an all-time high. Will this bull run continue? Bitcoin recently surged past 66,000, passing the previous high of close to 65,000 set in April. Well, whether it is going to continue the bull run or not, I'm not sure, but any assets that surge so quickly in a short period of time will highly likely attract sellers to take some profit, causing a technical correction on the asset. What is more important to me is the future prospect that Bitcoin could offer in the long run. Like I always say, if there's fundamental value in the asset, the price of the asset will always appreciate in the long run. Question 2. Recently, there has been so many crackdowns on Bitcoin. What's happening? Bitcoin and all other cryptocurrencies have been under scrutiny by regulators around the world, especially China, which calls all crypto assets illegal in the country. Even in the US, the SEC has been actively trying to regulate the crypto world. Not very long ago, the market cap for cryptocurrencies was only $200 billion in 2020, which is quite small. At the point in time, only a handful of investors were invested in it. And by 2021, the market cap has skyrocketed to $2 trillion. Even my grandmother, who doesn't know how to use a computer, knows about Bitcoin. As the saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them. And the first step for the US government joins the crypto world is to regulate them. Now you know why there are so many regulations talks from Korea to the US. Some may think that this is bad news, but in my opinion, this is good news.
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
Do you know that on 19th of October 2021, the SEC has approved its first Bitcoin futures ETF on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol of BITO, BITO. This move by the SEC is significant to the crypto community because it implies that cryptocurrencies are slowly integrating into the mainstream financial system. It seems like an inflection point for regulators to go forward with more financial products surrounding cryptocurrencies in the near future. Question 3. What is so valuable about Bitcoin? To understand the value of Bitcoin, you need to understand two concepts: scarcities and utility. Scarcity means that the supply is finite. For example, many people believe in the value of gold not just by its attractive shiny looks, but also it has limited supply. In the case of Bitcoin, there will only be 21 million coins that will ever exist. No more, no less. We all know that in basic economics, the value of an asset is determined by the demand and supply forces. Since the demand for Bitcoin is growing tremendously and the supply of Bitcoin remains limited, the price should continue to rise. Theoretically. In terms of utility, it is about the application of Bitcoin, how it could use in our daily life. It may fulfill the criteria of scarcity, but it is hard to carry a block of gold around. Besides, how will you pay for a cup of coffee with a block of gold? And if a block of gold is stolen, it is hard to prove the ownership of it. Here is where I think Bitcoin is superior over gold. It can be subdivided into a unit as small as Satoshi, which is worth this much. Not even 1 cent. With that, now you can use Bitcoin to buy coffee. Another utility of Bitcoin is transparency and anonymity. Bitcoin is transparent because it is developed on open source codes. Anybody can go and take a look at the codes and see how the coins are moving around in the blockchain. On top of that, it keeps the ownership of the assets anonymous since the transactions are only tied to a series of numbers and letters. No personal information is disclosed unless you are using a centralized wallet. In a nutshell, it is these two concepts that made some people believe that Bitcoin is more efficient than fiat currency and will eventually replace it. This leads us to the next question. Question 4. Can Bitcoin replace money? In my personal opinion, I don't think so. At least not in the immediate future. Because one of the major reasons is volatility. The number one purpose of money is to do transactions. Therefore, the most important quality of a currency is stability. Remember the guy who bought pizzas with 10,000 bitcoins? I doubt anybody wants to be like him. Having said that, El Salvador recently made Bitcoin its legal tender. This certainly gave a confidence boost to the Bitcoin community. But honestly, I still find it hard to wrap my head around it. I would like to see how it turns out in the future. What gets me more excited right now is DeFi, or centralized finance, which is like a parallel universe to the current banking system. Question 5. What is DeFi? To explain this in very few words, DeFi utilizes blockchain technology to offer financial applications such as loans, currency exchanges between different types of cryptocurrencies, stock investments, smart contracts, and many more without the banks to facilitate those transactions. Imagine you could do banking without a bank? It is this concept that pisses a lot of bankers and regulators off, because as soon as DeFi takes off in a massive way, it could be disruptive to the current banking system. I'm not going into the technical aspect of it. There are plenty of explanations online. What I would like to share is how I apply it to my own investments to make more money, since this is what this channel is all about. Anyone who is financially literate will at least save their money into FD or other investment tools to earn a return while holding the money. Through DeFi Chain, which is a community project, you can apply the same concept. Currently, there are 3 ways to make your coins work for you: lending, staking, and liquidity mining, which could potentially earn you more than 60% a year just by storing your coins there instead of leaving them idle in your wallet. Question 6. Lending, staking, liquidity mining? What is that? Lending is straightforward. It is just like a loan. You earn an interest by lending your coins to other people who need it. Staking is a process that involves committing your crypto assets to support a blockchain network and confirm transactions. It is available with cryptocurrencies such as DeFi Chain that use the proof of stake model to process payments. And finally, liquidity mining is a mechanism in which participants supply cryptocurrencies into liquidity pools and are rewarded with fees and tokens based on the shares of the total pool liquidity. That's what I did to make some extra money. In fact, this is what got me interested in cryptocurrency. Question 7. I thought you don't like Bitcoin? Yes, if you had followed my content for a while, you probably know that I was a non-believer of Bitcoin. This is because I find it hard to justify the intrinsic value to invest in Bitcoin. It was driven by speculation, not real value. However, once I learned about the application of DeFi, I changed my mind. Originally, I felt cryptocurrency is too volatile, but when I learned about DeFi and how I could use lending, staking, and liquidity mining to earn money while holding my coins, it gave me the confidence to invest more into it, since it provides me a cushion on the price volatility on the coins themselves. If the coin value dropped by half, I would still make it back through DeFi. If the price of the coin shot up, it is a bonus for me. Either way, it's a win.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Anyways, if you're interested to find out more, check out Kick DeFi. I've attached the link below. So yes, I invest in Bitcoin now. Question 8. How much do you think Bitcoin is worth? There are many videos trying to predict the fair value of Bitcoin. Some of them use technical charts to justify their predictions, while others just simply plug a number from thin air. In my opinion, since the majority of the crypto community would agree that Bitcoin is more similar to gold, perhaps we could do a comparison between the two assets. The total value of the gold ever mined in the world is around $8 trillion today. So if Bitcoin were to replace gold completely, then each Bitcoin is worth approximately 380,000. Just take the total value of gold divided by the finite number of Bitcoin of 21 million. It's simple math. And I admit that it is too simplistic to think of the value of Bitcoin that way. Well, it is just my personal view of where I think Bitcoin is going to. At the end of the day, with technological advancement in our digitized society, we are relying more on technology to do the work. Maybe one day, Bitcoin can really become the medium of exchange for the world. Until then, we have to embrace the price volatility that Bitcoin offers today. That's all we have for today. #5.